What is up guys, it is Simba here and welcome back to the channel for another video on F1 23 League Racing. And today we have got another test race in SLR for the British Grand Prix. If you haven't seen the last social race we did in SLR, go check it out. It's on screen and in the top right hand corner of your screen. It was the French Grand Prix and that race went pretty well. And if you guys enjoy the content, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more content. League Racing is going to be starting up soon, so I'd appreciate you if you stick around for some more content and even career mode as well with a certain someone who is racing here. So here we are at Silverstone. We've seen the real thing over the past weekend and it was quite a good race, especially with McLaren. So we're going to see if we can do a solid job as well. Right now it's not looking great. We're on our second lap right now and we're not making too much of an improvement as we come through the final chicane through Vale and on the power over towards the line, and it's not great. That's still shit, but we knew. What was it? Low 4. And you can hear my reaction. I wasn't happy with the lap, and it's not looking great on our last lap either. For some reason, we've just struggled to maximise, well not really maximise, just put a good lap in. As you can see, we're currently P9 at the moment with a 25.4, so the time not being as quick as I expected, and we're not really maximising our pace. We can go quite a few turns quicker, but we're going to see if we can put in a strong end to the lap going through Vale for one final time. We get a great run out of Vale, but for some reason we go over the massive sausage curb. We do a 360. You can hear my reaction. Terrible. And that is the end of qualifying. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. We end up P11. Our teammate for this race, Sparkles, YT15, is in P12. That's Darren. And yeah, our PB was a 24.957. And if you look at the times, you would have been on the front row. So we didn't maximise quality, but that might not matter because we've got some rain on the way. So, here we go. Time for the race, and for the first time, I'm going to be racing in wet conditions on F1 23, and we're going to be on the full wet tyres. Some people have chosen intermediates as well, but as you can see, Evo has parked his car horrendously. So that Ferrari there, you can see he's parked the wrong way. So, I was just laughing at that with Darren, and we're ready to start the race.
Drive-through penalty. You've got a drive-through penalty.
Oh no. Well, instant karma. We've jumped the start. We've only gone off and jumped the start. The race is underway and it's already in the bin. And yeah, inspirational. What a start to this race. I never jump the start. Normally, if you guys have watched the channel for quite a while, like the first, like, getting off the line is a strong point for me, but here we completely bottled it, and we've got a drive-through penalty to serve.
I do not like anything about this. Oh, okay then, Merc just you spun into my car, now I've got damage. That's lovely, mate. Thank you very much.
What kind of damage?
How has he done that?
And my teammate isn't quite getting the rub of the green either, because he's got damage. As we go down the inside of SLR Ham through Cops, he's chosen to start on the intermediates, and you'll see shortly that that was probably the right decision. But going through the middle sector, I'm still annoyed at myself for jumping the start, because it's just something you don't want to do ever. So we're going to cut to the end of lap 3 now with a very smooth transition. We're still P8. We've got Sora ahead of us now, but we're going to have to serve the drive-through penalty at the end of this lap. Darren has repaired his front wing and gone for intermediates, and you're going to hear him very shortly. But into the pits we go. Into the pits we go. So happy. Just a really stupid error. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, chat, this is going to be a long one.
Up Mets with a penalty.
That's crispy in 7th.
I've gone purple in sector 2, you lot, just saying.
And there is a key point from Darren. So he's just set the fastest middle sector of anybody in this race at the moment on the intermediate tyres. So this penalty is really going to hurt us because we've just reached the crossover point. And by the time we get to the end of the next lap, we're going to box for intermediates. So we've already visited the pit lane twice, as I'm talking over some comms here. So yeah, this moment here, J-Men's has just retired from the session. We've just realised that we are last. We are last and a long, long way away from any other car. The only saving grace we've got is that some people are yet to stop. They've stayed up for one more lap on the wet tyres, but this is an absolute disaster. And at this point, I'm actually thinking, you know, maybe we could just retire, call it a day, get through the race, and maybe not make this into a video. But this is the wet conditions. We might as well carry on and see where we are compared to everybody else.
No, there's a bunch who didn't pit. Well, not.
And there you go. That is Aslar Medal. He's just confirmed that some people are yet to stop. So maybe we might not be last here, guys. You're wrong. We're still last. We've got Sem right in front of us onto lap 7. We've got 2 warnings for track limits. And what you're going to see here is another case of inspirational driving from yours truly.
Oh my god, I've cut. Well, they're on the inside. Bloody hell.
Oh, that is so stupid. And you can hear my frustration just continuing to grow as we've got ourselves a 3-second time penalty by lap 7. This race ain't going well, guys. It's not looking good at all. And it feels like we're going to need a miracle to even like get higher than last place at this point. So yeah, this is not looking great. On to lap 9, we're still behind Sem. We're really struggling with these conditions. I was running with a dry setup, hoping that the rain would dry up quite quickly, but yellow flag in front of us, and our teammates involved. And at the same time, Finn is out of the race, and that has triggered a safety car on lap 10 of this race. And we might be back in it, but look what we do here.
Ow. I mean, I was going to box anyway.
Oh my god! I tapped the back of Sim, I got a penalty. And Darren just threw it.
I went full on the bags as well.
This is inspirational stuff on Alpha Romeo.
Radar showing a clear patch on its way. There's about 10 more minutes of this race.
I can't wait to make this into a video. It's going to be so much fun to put back on. I'm going to box for another set of entries, I mean. Well, that happened.
Yes.
You also heard me breaking the 4th wall, so now I can't wait to make this into a video, because it's going to be interesting to look back on. I'm already laughing at it, and we're not even 10 minutes in, so into the pits we go for a 3rd time. You can hear in the background, and I'm going to talk over this once again, Corey and Zydrad have pitted for dry tyres because the rain is going to stop in 10 minutes time, if you heard Mark Priestley, the engineer on this game, say so. So, yeah, I don't know what was going through Corey and Zydrad's brains there. I have no idea. And meanwhile, we're going to serve the penalty. Darren hit the back of us. And, you know, this is really going well for us as a team. We're going to put on another set of intermediates to the end of the race. You know, we're going to see if it dries up. Until it dries up, we'll be on these tyres. So Darren's going to do the same thing. He can't get rid of his penalty because he got a corner cutting penalty, I think, when he went off the track, which makes no sense. So Darren's got that on his head for the rest of the race. He can't get it removed. We got rid of 5 seconds, and we are P16, so we're still technically last in this Grand Prix. And we've got the safety car coming in at the end of lap 13. So, we're finally back in the race. I have no idea where we're going to end up, so let's see what happens. But meanwhile, everyone's so slow on the restart. Can we go, please?
Evo's gone into the pit lane, that's amazing.
So, here we go, underway again. I was a little bit annoyed because, you know, everyone was going so slowly and we've lost out to Sem really badly at the start of lap 14. So we've crossed halfway. We're still in this race. We're P14 and I have no idea how far we're going to get. But all I know is that we're going to have to go as far as we can on these tyres just to make sure that we get to the dry period and we can switch the tyres We can switch to dry tyres
very
right at the end of the race, or you could do the whole race on these tyres. We'll have to wait and see, as Medal has used a ghost car of GSR Adrian to his advantage to gain a few places. I'm saying oh no right now in the background to Roller, because he got a 5-second penalty for colliding with Adrian's AI, and a few people stayed out on old intermediate tyres, so we have a tyre advantage compared to some people on this grid. And some people have penalties as Jim Jam and Sem have made contact. And just like that, we're back where we started. We're P11. Yeah, it's going to be about keeping it clean. And speaking of keeping it clean, a few people do have penalties ahead of us. But we're going to have to make most of these positions on track because, you know, our pace is absolutely awful. We do a 37.2 at the end of lap 14. Zydrad very quick at the moment with the fastest lap of the race. And we're right behind SLR Corey. But Corey... Where's Corey going?
What the heck?
Has completely flown off the track at turn 3. I don't know where he was going. And yeah, we're up into the points paying positions. I mean, it's a social race, nothing's on the line, but if this was an actual league race, we'd be in the points. And I didn't expect us to be here. Meanwhile, Roller is trying to defend from Merckx on his old intermediate tyres, and you can see he's got a 5-second penalty. And on to lap 16 we go. Roller has developed a bit of a train behind him, including Merckx, myself, Zydrad, and our teammate, as Merckx goes up the inside of the Aston Martin. We get a great run through turn 3, and we go on the inside.
Oh shit. Sorry, Roller.
No.
Okay, clear.
Roller, I am so sorry. I couldn't see the fucking apex, mate.
Well, that happened. I can tell you guys now, that is 100% my fault. I got a really good run on Merckx, and I thought that was him on the inside, but it turned out it was Roller. I just didn't see Roller at all in front of me, and yeah, I've absolutely taken him out. Oh dear. Yeah, Roller, if you are watching this, sorry about that, mate. Didn't mean to do it, but because of that, we have frauded our way up into P8. So up to P8 we go on lap 16, and we're going to skip 2 laps here because it is starting to dry out in Silverstone, and you can see Midsy's 10 seconds behind, and me and Darren are 5th and 6th.
Darren, we could theoretically be 4th, 5th and 6th. The most fraudulent top 6 performance you've ever seen. If it doesn't dry up.
Oh,
If it doesn't dry up, we're selecting the most
Okay, be
fraudulent
aware
5th
there's
and
an
6th.
incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking
I know,
through the
but-
yellow flags.
Midsy's got 4 seconds and just come out of the pit.
And you can hear me and Darren bantering each other as we're up to 5th and 6th. It'll be the most fraudulent top 6 you'll ever see. But yeah, the track is drying. We are 16 seconds now ahead of Midsy, and that's why I decided to stay out for just a little bit longer, because it's not quite time for dries yet. That's not the quicker tyre yet. The Inters are still the preferred tyre, but we are thinking of letting our teammate through because I'm feeling that Darren has a bit more pace than me.
Sure you don't want to go through, mate?
I'm good, mate. I mean, if you're willing to let me, I can go, but I don't really care too much.
The car ahead,
Trying to
1.7
maximise the
seconds.
result for the team.
Well, I can go down the straight and I'll see what I can do.
You said you could. Alright, go on. Go, Jason.
Well, I'm gonna try and push,
We're
but if I
still-
bin it, then don't be
Still not
shocked.
a perfect situation, but I don't think we've got cause to move on to a different tyre yet.
So after quite a bit of banter and a lot of comms, we let our bro through and have him go after Merckx. And if it ends like this, guys, it's not really a worry because we'll get the place back on Darren through penalties. But we're going to make a big decision on the next lap. So, very nice transition on to lap 21. We are going to box for a set of dry tyres with 5 laps to go. I decided that we couldn't get to the end of the race on intermediate tyres. You can see the orange icon was showing up at the bottom right hand corner of your screen. and the tyres were on 65%, and there were 5 laps left. So it was going to be really touch and go if we were going to get to the end of the race. So we're going to put on a set of soft tyres, a used set from qualifying. In hindsight, I wish I picked the medium tyres because they were fresh.
I think medal might
so yeah, make sure you note that next time. If you guys are doing a wet to dry race, yeah, you want to be on a set of mediums because, you know, you'd be on fresh tyres at least, and they'd perform better than the softs by the time we get to the end of the race. As you can hear me say in the background, I think Medal can still win this race because you can see on the mini-map, Medal is a long way clear of anybody else.
Where is P10 right now?
Riggsy, he's right behind me, and I'm going through 10-4.
Okay.
And there's a 7-second gap to Jib Jab as well. But you might as well stay out down because you've got benefit.
Yep.
Massive one at that as well.
And you can hear me and Darren discussing strategy. Because I have Darren's penalties, I've told him to try and get to the end of the race, which is something he tried last season on F1 22. But by the time we get to 2 laps later, you can hear in the background he's saying, I was on 87% wear. So there was no way Darren was going to get to the end of the race. He was going to basically face a similar fate that he did last season with just over a lap to go. So Darren has pitted, he's called it quits, he's going to put on a set of softs and see what he can do with the time penalties. Meanwhile, SLR Medal is still leading this race, but can he hang on to those worn intermediate tyres?
It's just the front left I'm worried about. It's just the front.
What percentage are you on?
I'm gonna make it.
His order is included, so, you know, if I enter this and he doesn't make it...
That's just come.
Where am I going?
Oh, good.
Oh, there it is.
Fuck's sake.
And the answer is no. Medal thought he was going to make it. His tyres were on 84%. So realistically he would have been very close, but he should have made it. But unfortunately for him, he's got a puncture with just over a lap to go, and that is basically his chance of winning in the bin. And he's found himself down in 8th place, 3.6 seconds behind us by the time we start the end of the last lap. Oh, that makes no sense. By the time we get to the last lap, we are now up into P7. And we've got a chance to get P6 in a race where we were last for the majority of, you know, at the beginning of the race. We pick up a 5th warning for track limits meanwhile. It's not been a very clean race for me, to be honest. I've driven awfully. But a P6 is still on the cards. We don't get the greatest run through Chapel. The tyres aren't feeling great at this point, and the lack of BRS is letting us down as Merckx is just flashing now by the time we get to Stowe, as Ham wins the race after starting on intermediate tyres. He made that one call that made the difference, and we're not going to get Merckx unfortunately, but somehow, someway, we've got P7 in this social race, and that has to be the most fraudulent P7 you guys will ever see. I drove terribly the whole race, a terrible quali, and we still get P7. It's just one of those races where you make one call and it either goes well or you end up losing out big time. I hate races like that, but somehow we've frauded P7. I hope you guys enjoyed the chaos. Make sure you subscribe for more, and I'll see you all in the next one.